Here is a fully rewritten version with fresh wording, minor plot adjustments, and clear parts, and I've added a rebook reflection line at the end of each part, just as you asked. The core message stays the same, but the language and flow are original to avoid reuse or copyright issues. Part 1. When a home stops feeling safe. Many years ago, an elderly woman lived quietly on a small farm in California. She had spent her entire life working beside her husband, tending crops, raising animals, and building a future together. In those days, their land was wide, their fields full, and their hearts hopeful. After her husband passed away, everything changed. Age weighed heavily on her body. Her knees ached, and every step felt slow and painful. Her daughter and son-in-law lived with her, but the warmth of family was gone. The daughter had grown harsh and short-tempered, while the son-in-law avoided work, sleeping away most of the day. Despite her exhaustion, the old woman continued helping as much as she could. One night, she overheard a whispered conversation. Fear filled the room as the couple spoke about hunger and survival. The daughter said coldly that her mother had to go, that the house was needed for them alone. The next morning, loud sounds woke her. She stepped outside to find her clothes, blankets, and shoes scattered on the ground. Her daughter stood nearby, expressionless. Without meeting her eyes, she said, "You must leave." The old woman trembled and whispered that this was her home, but the door was shut before she could finish her words. She sat there until evening, crying in silence. Rebook. Sometimes the people closest to us forget our worth, but rejection does not erase dignity. Part 2. Strength hidden in silence. What the couple never knew was that the old woman and her husband had quietly saved money for years. That very night, she walked toward the old corral, lifted a few stones, and uncovered a small box holding her savings. With nothing but determination, she traveled to a nearby village. A kind farming family recognized her and welcomed her with warm tea, food, and a small room for the night. The next morning, she asked if any land was available. There was, and with her savings, she purchased a fertile piece of land. Neighbors helped her raise a simple wooden house. She planted crops, cared for chickens, and slowly rebuilt her life. Peace returned to her days. A young boy from the neighborhood often helped her without asking for anything in return. His respect and kindness healed wounds she never spoke about. Rebook. What is saved with patience can become the foundation of a new beginning. Part 3. The Price of Laziness. Back at the old house, the daughter and son-in-law refused to change. They worked little, argued often, and let their land decay. Weeds overtook the yard, and the house began to fall apart. Still, they believed the old woman had nothing and would someday return helpless. One day, desperate for work, the son-in-law walked far and reached a beautiful farm. When the door opened, he froze. The old woman stood before him. Ashamed and hungry, he asked for work. She agreed, but only if he promised never to tell her daughter that the farm belonged to her. He worked hard every day, and she treated him fairly. She never spoke harshly, only asking gently, "How is my daughter?" He always replied that she was fine, even though he knew she was not. Rebook. Labor can change circumstances, but character decides destiny. Part 4. The Final Choice. One morning, the daughter followed him and arrived at the farm. Shock turned into anger when she saw her mother living peacefully. She shouted accusations and demanded answers. Calmly, the old woman said, "Speak to me after your anger rests." The daughter demanded money, land, anything she could take. The old woman gave her a few coins and closed the door. The couple wasted the money quickly and sold what little they still owned, believing they would one day inherit the farm. But the old woman had already chosen her legacy. She wrote a will, leaving everything to the young boy who stood by her when she was abandoned. Her daughter was left nothing. When the old woman passed away, the village honored her with respect. The daughter and son-in-law came to claim the farm, only to learn the truth. Ashamed and defeated, they left the village and were never seen again. Rebook. Kindness builds legacies. Greed leaves emptiness behind. Final message. Remember this story. Even when life pushes you aside, you are not finished. Your value is not measured by those who mistreat you. With courage, patience, and self-respect, you can rebuild what was broken. Kindness grows, greed destroys. Choose strength, choose dignity, choose your own path forward. Rebook. Those who walk with honor never truly walk alone.